my name is Helena and I'm a solution architect at Applanga. Today I would like to show you how you can translate your app into as many different languages as you wish. By using Applanga, you will be able to upload strings automatically, manage your content and invite others to join your projects, test your translations directly on your device, and push updates straight to users. But why don't I just go right ahead and show you?
This is the screen you will see once you have created an account, added your app, and integrated our SDK and Applanga settings file into your code. If you require detailed information on the Applanga integration, there's a video for that too. You can find the link in the description box. Up here you can find information about the number of your apps, the monthly active users of those apps, your team members, and your current pricing tier. This number right here is generally referring to the number of people that are using your app each month, but also serves as a great indicator to see if your app has successfully been integrated. After integration has been completed, the number will jump from 0 to 1 and all localizable strings from your app will automatically be pulled directly from the code and pop up right here. To keep track of your projects, you can see which apps you have created yourself and to which ones you were invited to collaborate. Let's now assume you want to add translations to your own app, Mahlzeit. First of all, you can have a look at the base language of your app, in this case, English. On the left side, you can see all the IDs of the strings that have been uploaded from your app. On the right side, you will see the strings. These are going to be the starting point of your translations. To check if they look okay, you can go through the list and even change what you don't like. If you don't want a string to be translated, you can lock it here and make sure it does not appear to your translators. This might be a useful feature for linked URLs or any term that you would like to remain untranslated. When opening the detail view of a string, you also have the option to add a description which your translators will be able to access in each target language, for instance to indicate parts of speech, the context in which a string is found. But now, let's start with the real fun, adding a new language to your app. You can either select a language from our list of recommendations or search for any language you can imagine right here in the search field. We also track your monthly active users per language to help you decide which language to add next. We support a great number of local dialects, but it usually makes most sense to translate into the main language first and worry about dialects later. Today, let's assume you'd like to translate your app into German. Once you added your new language, all the entries from your base language, minus the locked entries, are transferred into untranslated strings of the new language. Let's get started and do some translating. Just type your translations into this field right here and save them as drafts or approve them as targets. Once a translation is approved, it is visible to your users the next time they open their app, so you might want to be careful using this option. It is also only available to certain roles within a team, but more about that later. All translations that are saved as drafts can be viewed directly on your device in the draft mode, as I will demonstrate shortly. When going through the list of strings to be translated, you can either use this view, the inline editing, or you can switch to the detail view, clicking on this little magnifying glass right here. Using this view, you have a few more options, such as getting machine translations for your string, changing the maximum length the translation should have, or adding a screenshot to provide context. The descriptions that you added in the base language will appear in this window. By looking at the changelog, you are able to see the translation history of each string. Maybe you are working with a translation agency that prefers to use their CAT tool of choice rather than Applanga's dashboard. No problem. For maximum flexibility, you can export and import your translation data anytime at the click of a button. We support XLIF as the standard data format for localization files. If your translator would like to translate the strings using their own CAT tool, they can simply export the data from Applanga, import them into their tool, work on the translations, and finally export the data from the CAT tool and re-import them into Applanga. Let's see what our German language dashboard would look like if we imported the finalized work of a translator. We import the XLIF file and immediately get all the translations as drafts to our dashboard. Let's now assume that you're not the only person working on a project and would like to invite your translators and localization manager to collaborate directly in the dashboard. By clicking on the team name and selecting Add Team Member, you can invite others to join the project. Assigning them one of the roles will determine what changes they are able to make. A translator, for example, can only create drafts, while a manager would be able to approve translations. I would now like to show you one of my favorite features, the live on-device testing. I installed the demo app Mahlzeit here on my phone. As you can see, it contains simple recipes in the base language English. Now that we have all our translation drafts in Applanga, we would like to see what they will look like in the app. This can help us to spot design flaws and other mistakes more easily. Usually, a new test version of the app would have to be built by our engineers, which is not only a dull manual task that takes away expensive engineering resources, but can delay the localization process significantly. To demonstrate the draft mode, I have selected German as my preferred language in the phone settings. This is how Applanga decides which translation is shown to whom, following their personal preferences. When I now open the Mahlzeit app, all strings are displayed in English. By holding 4 fingers down on the screen for 4 seconds, the draft mode is activated. It will ask you for the draft mode key, which you can find right here in the Applanga dashboard. Once you enter it into the phone, the app closes down and will reopen, displaying the new language. Now we are able to see all our translation drafts as if they were already live. Once all screens have been checked on the phone, a manager can go back into the dashboard, group select and approve all drafts at once, which would make them visible to your users within 10 minutes, no App Store approvals and no waiting around. This option is also great for quick fixes of small mistakes that would usually bug your users for days.
And that is it. I hope I gave you a good overview of Applanga. If you have any questions or require additional information, please do not hesitate to contact us via email or the chat function within the dashboard. We will be right there for you. Until then, take care and happy localizing!